In this one, I'm playing some Jeskai Artifacts, a deck that used to see a ton of play on the best of one standard ladder, but sees very little play these days, and I don't think that's right. Now, the reason this one is on my mind is because yesterday when I was making my climb into Mythic, I faced an opponent that was on a Jeskai Artifact deck, and they absolutely crushed me. Like, it wasn't even close. I got beat down so hard, and that experience got me wondering, why aren't more people playing Jeskai Artifacts on the ladder? This one seems like a great deck to use to climb, and I don't really understand why it has fallen so far out of favor. Maybe people are just sick of it. Maybe they're afraid of rotation, which is what we're going to talk about right now, because there are some interesting things going on with this deck. We just got a reprint of Simulacrum Synthesizer. Isn't this card beautiful? What do you think of this art? I kind of like it. I wonder what you all think about it. I imagine a lot of you think it's very gaudy. Anyways, what this means is that this was reprinted in Marvel Superheroes. It's going to be sticking around in Standard. It's going to be dodging the rotation that's coming in January, February. So you can expect to see robots persisting into the future, or at least the foreseeable future. Also, Repurposing Bay and Perilous Snare, two cards that were printed in Aether Drift, are also sticking around because Aether Drift is not rotating. So Repurposing Bay, probably definitely the card that is the most important in the deck, is also sticking around. The two cards that are rotating are Clayfire Bricks and Spring-Loaded Saw Blades, but these are two CMC utility artifact cards that I think we'll be able to find replacements for. These kinds of things get reprinted into future sets all the time. I don't think this is where the deck is going to fall apart, losing these two cards. The last card that I want to talk about before we hop into games is Iron Man Armor. This just seems appropriate for the deck. I don't know if it's actually going to end up being well worth the spot or not, but we're still going to try it out and see how it performs. Hopefully it pops up in these games. So that's the deck. We're going to hop into some gameplay and hopefully get some wins with this awesome Jeskai Artifact list. Awesome. That's right. I did say that. See you over in the games. All right, time for some robot action in Standard. Hey, Scrabs. I believe I faced Scrabs on my climb up into Mythic, I believe. The name looks very familiar. But yeah, hopefully we get a... how do y'all feel about Jeskai on the ladder these days? So I'm in Mythic now, and I made that push last night, and I gotta say, so much Jeskai control. Everybody is on a different flavor of Jeskai control right now, which is okay, at least interesting to say that they're on different types of Jeskai control, but it's all Jeskai control, and it all culminates with Jeskai Revelation. It's so all over the place, and I know I did recently play it. I just don't play that deck a whole lot. But my goodness, do people play it an absolute boatload. I just can't seem to get away from it. I don't know what happened to all the Cub decks, even the aggro decks like the mono red or the Izzet Prowess decks. I don't really see too often. I see this stuff just constantly. And I don't like that because that means I'm going to have to use my brain. And I think my brain this morning is a little bit fried. Yesterday, interesting day for me. I actually went to a movie theater to watch a baseball game. There was an all-star game, and we couldn't go to the baseball game in person because it's just too hard to get tickets for that kind of stuff around here. You know what? Let's fire off this spring-loaded Saw Blades and see if we can snipe out this Cutzel Flanker, and then maybe turn on the Iron Man Armor. I don't know if I really want to risk the Iron Man Armor dying, but that also pulls removal out of their hand, maybe? Activating it as a 3/3 is probably a bad idea because Lightning Helix. Never mind. Yeah, as I was clicking it, yeah. So that goes back to the brain dead thing. I was in the movie theater for 5 hours yesterday watching baseball. 5 hours in the movie theater. So certainly they must have a way of countering things. Let's give them the United Battlefront. They're gonna have a... Hopefully it's a 3 steps ahead. I was gonna say 3 steps ahead. Surprisingly, they don't have it. So let's just draw a card, put the Simulacrum Synthesizer on the field. We scry 2 as well. Fire Crystal we don't want. We absolutely don't want. I think we also don't even really want the loaded Saw Blades. And now we go out with the Adagia. And hopefully we can get this Repurposing Bay on the field. If the Repurposing Bay can hit the field, then we can maybe start creating some constructs. However, the opponent, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Like, we're not going to be able to deal with the Jeskai Revelation. They're going to have Jeskai Revelation mana soon. They could have Meringue River Regents now, which bounce the Simulacrum Synthesizer pretty well. Ill-timed Explosion, that's a desperation draw, so that's good news for us. It kind of means that we're going to be able to get the Repurposing Bay onto the field no matter what, because they could only be possibly holding up no more lies. Or negate. I don't think they have a negate. No, it lands. Good news for us. That means we get to crack the Cryogen Relic, draw a card. They could maybe stifle something here. Oh, United Battlefront's big for us too. And you better believe that I'm going to grab a second Simulacrum Synthesizer. We're making a whole bunch of robos. We don't want any more lands. The Fomori Vault is good, but I don't think it's where we want to be right now. And there's no reason not to station. You know, I probably would have missed that had it not been for like the automatic arena interface of just like slowing things way down. Adagia, now that this is online, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's a legendary. It's legendary. So we can make a new Simulacrum Synthesizer. We can make, well, whatever we want. All for the cost of 5 mana. It's expensive. I don't think I'm going to be turning this on all too often. But it's still nice to have access to it. Oh, yep. Sure. When was the last time you saw an opponent playing Ultima? Right? You just don't see Ultimas on the ladder. But your boy over here, your boy gets hit by Ultimas. I know this might seem a little weird, but I'm going to keep the Perilous Snare on top. I don't want to draw. Oh, I should have. No, that's fine. I should have put the Saw Blade down. I don't want to draw the Fire Crystal, because the Fire Crystal is something that we want to have in our deck to be able to grab out with the Repurposing Bay. So, barring another Ultima, we might be in okay shape here. Like, they need to do a lot of work to stop these 4/7/7 constructs that are on the field. Next turn, we get Perilous Snare triggers. So more constructs, and then we have something to sacrifice with the Repurposing Bay. Yep. It's fine. It's fine. So we do Perilous Snare. What do you got for me, opponent? I don't think they don't have counter magic. They could have, again, negate maybe. But they don't have white mana for No More Lies. Dispelling Exhale. Okay. GG, opponent. We pay 4? No, decline. It's fine. Perilous Snare number 2. Grab. Oh no. Oh no, I had to grab that. Oh no, that makes things very awkward, right? So if I sacrifice the Simulacrum Synthesizer for the Fire Crystal, I'm going to make one more. I'm going to have 2 more things on the field. There'll be 8/8s. I'm short damage. If I do the Perilous Snare, the Pinnacle Starcage comes back and wipes out my 6/6s, but maybe it's still better to do it that way. That sucks. So you have to target with the Pinnacle Starcage. It's fine. It's fine. We still get some creatures to attack in with. And now we have the Fire Crystal on the field. An attacker. We can use the Adagia maybe next turn. That didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. Let's try putting the Clay-Fired Bricks onto the field. The opponent must have... This is activate sorcery only. The opponent must have a Jeskai Revelation, right? That must be what they're gearing up for. So let's do this to make a copy of the Fire Crystal. The problem is, whatever I target, they're going to try to bounce with their Jeskai Revelation. Okay. That's fine, though, right? Because what I can do is grab... maybe it's not fine. Maybe it's actually not fine. We do have the ability to play out the Fire Crystal in the future. So do I want Iron Man armor now that gives my creatures flying? Sure. Let's do it. Iron Man armor. Iron Man armor. Iron Man armor. Did we just find a win against a Jeskai control player? That's an awesome start. You love to see it. Iron Man armor, pretty good. What did oh man. And I even said about the Adagia, I was crap talking the Adagia. I said, we're probably not even going to use it. And it came in and saved the day. What a cool little win to start this video off with. I'm pumped. Let's go. Just looking at the rotation information that I looked up before. We're losing Wilds of Eldraine, Lost Caverns of Ixalan, which is where the Clayfire Bricks and that is from. Murders at Karlov Manor. The big score, so the big score would have been where the Simulacrum Synthesizer was printed, so we would have lost that card, but it is sticking around. Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Bloomburrow, Dusk Morn. So Aether Drift, literally just squeaking in. It just got in under the thumb of rotation. I suppose I could have left out with the Flood Farm Verge there, put out the Authority of the Consuls instead of taking 1 damage with the starting town, but I really want to get these starting towns onto the field, and we are gearing up towards getting this United Battlefront on the field. We are against a Cub deck, so that means our best deck, or our best draws are going to be Pinnacle Star Cage, of course. That's all we want to find. Now, we might die before we even get to that, because the opponent went first with Mana Acceleration, and that usually means bad news for us. Never mind. We were saved. I 100% should have gone out with Flood Farm Verge. I don't know why I went out with the starting town now in retrospect, because I knew what my plays were going to be. I knew I was going to go Authority, Clayfire Bricks, whatever. It's okay. We're going to gain plenty of life from this Authority of the Consuls. Okay, the opponent now up to 4 mana still, so they could have Ouroboride, which would be the worst thing to see right now. Bright Glass Gearhulk is also not great for us. We're going to need now to hit the 3 CMC Oblivion Ring thing that I'll never... Snare. Perilous Snare. I got there. Wow, the brain dug deep and I actually figured something out there. They grab the Resolve, which is really not useful in this matchup against us, and the Nurturing Pixie, which is just food for our Pinnacle Star Cage. And we find Simulacrum Synthesizer. So we are taking some damage, but it's fine. I'd rather get the starting town onto the field. Cryogen Relic, good. Authority, probably don't need. Do I really need the Cryogen Relic is actually... So next turn we're going to go... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Next turn we're almost certainly going to be going United Battlefront. Hopefully find some good stuff off the top. And then on the following turn we can go out Pinnacle Star Cage and the Cryogen Relic if we really need to. If emergency has happened. They do have this Bright Glass Gearhulk on the field, and like I said, if they end up finding the Ouroboride, we're in really big trouble. We would need this United Battlefront to be absolutely huge for us. But if they just use this turn to pump with the Abandoned Air Temple, get in for 7 damage, I don't think that's the worst case scenario for us. We still need some help. We're going to need the United Battlefront to come up pretty big for us. Which, hey, sometimes it whiffs. However, we're probably going to make constructs. Now, we could do it the safe way and just fire this off. Hey, you fire off the United Battlefront, though, every single time. And this is fine. This is fine. Boom, boom, boom. Do we care about this? No. No. No, we would rather hit a better 3 CMC card off the top. Now we got a bunch of 7/7s, and future 7/7s are coming, And we also have Iron Man armor that can turn into something really nasty. This can just give one of these constructs flying. It could also just be a construct all on its own, which I guess that's what you would do. I don't think you would ever, in this deck, I don't know if you would ever equip the Iron Man armor, right? It worked out in the last game because we needed haste. I suppose if we need haste, that's where it comes in handy. But if you're just attacking with something, just turn it on for 2. It's equipped 2, turn it on for 2. Does that prove that Tony Stark is useless? Right? That the Iron Man armor can just do what it's going to do with or without Tony Stark inside it? Huh. Food for thought. While our opponent roping us over there. Speaking of which, I guess we should talk more comics. I finished World War Hulk last night. After making the World War Hulk video, I was embarrassed to say that I had never read World War Hulk. And so I spent this week before bed or free time at work, like when I had lunch breaks or whatever, reading over World War Hulk. Very enjoyable, very fun. I don't know how I feel about the ending. Some of you, we're not going to talk about it. I know it's from like 2006, 2007, so it's well beyond the spoilers. But still, we don't need to mention it specifically. But yeah, the ending, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was good. The ride was good though. So we'll grab the repurposing bay. We'll also grab, I don't know, Cryogen Relic, draw a card. Also gives me food for the repurposing bay. I don't think I need another Authority of the Consuls. And this means that we just attack, right? We have 2 11/11s back. They're going to have to block with 2 creatures minimum. So they give us the Gene Pollinator and the Llanowar Elf. They can allow the 11 damage through. And this is pretty, like, what do you do if you're the opponent here? How do you get out of this? Your damage output on the next turn is 7, right? Even with the Ouroboride, now I fear nothing. I fear no Space Worms. Dang, that's good. And that's a good deck to go up against the Selesnya Counters decks. Very powerful. All right, game number 3. They're taking a little long. So maybe we're gearing up for a 7 match video. We get to go first. Fire Crystal. Hate to see it. I think, man, it's close. Fire Crystal's so bad to have in your opening hand though. I'm gonna throw it away. This is better? I say, unsure. Perilous Snare, probably going to be the weakest card overall from these. We really need this Spring-Loaded Saw Blades to be able to kill something. Oh, the Flood Farm Verge was such a good draw for us. Okay, so that means that we at least have the Repurposing Bay. Yeah, I'm just going to run out the Saw Blades. Run them out. They don't have anything. This Repurposing Bay now on the field with food for the Repurposing Bay to crack next turn. We're against Jeskai Control. We gotta do this thing. So go and grab a Synthesizer and fix the top of our library because we're gonna definitely need to find lands. We want to find that land. We definitely don't want the Pinnacle Star Cage. It's not really gonna work out for us against a Jeskai Lessons player. Hopefully, if they spend the turn putting out a tablet, I'm not going to be too upset about that. Oh. Oh, it's okay. All right, we'll go and grab our free land here. We do shuffle away our Flood Farm Verge. It's okay, though. Now we're up 4 mana. We draw the worst card that we could possibly draw. United Battlefront, please don't have No More Lies. Oh, thank God. Ow, those are bad hits. But we do have the Repurposing Bay on the field, so at least it's something. Now, if they have another Price of Freedom, having that upside of being able to hit artifact or land is actually pretty awesome for the opponent. What's bad for the opponent is putting Thor onto the field. Now, Whenever you cast a when Thor enters, exile that. You may cast that until your next turn. So they're just going to be able to do that until next turn. So definitely we are going to be using the Repurposing Bay on the... I think it's on the spring-loaded Saw Blades is a little bit better to do it on. We grab a sacrificial Simulacrum Synthesizer. We keep the land on top. What land did I put to the bottom? Should have kept this one. Should have kept this one. Wasn't thinking clearly enough. We probably need the red mana source for the Fire Crystal to get onto the field. All right. They have their price of freedom. It's going to shuffle everything away. It's fine. Our library is going to get rearranged. So we go and grab an island because we want to fetch our own clay-fired bricks with this thing. Wow. Imagine you're the opponent and you queue into... It's fine. Doesn't matter. An opponent playing artifacts and you find 3... Oh, I guess it's not 3. They're just recycling them. The Thor is such a nasty creature in this matchup, actually. They found 2 Price of Freedoms, though, in their top whatevers. Okay. So, again, we're going to do Repurposing Bay, grab this Simulacrum Synthesizer. They're running us out of synthesizers. We're going to be in trouble here. There's a starting town. We don't want the starting town on the top of our library right now because we're going to be doing United Battlefront, and we need to see better stuff. Perilous Snare, Simulacrum Synthesizer number 2, not bad. Iron Man Armor, not bad because I do need to have a threat, but I also probably just need to get rid of this Thor because the Thor can probably just kill me. But then if they kill, no, because that just perpetuates the cycle, right? All right, we just need to make enough big stuff. Don't want. And may as well put the Clayfire bricks onto the field and shuffle things around a little bit again, because we do kind of want to find our starting town, even though it's not going to be great. Like, they have so much work to do outside of an Ultima. They need to get rid of the synthesizers. They also need to get rid of all these they're not called Karnstructs. They are Karnstructs, but they're not called Karnstructs. We get a we've ramped quite a bit. Hey, having 10 basic lands in your library seems like a pretty good idea these days when you're going up against Jeskai land destruction constantly. Firebending lesson from the opponent. What does that mean? Whoa! My friend, that is a lot of resources. You better believe I'm BMing this opponent, getting rid of Thor. Nice try with all of those prices. How many Price of Freedoms did we end up fighting through? Was that 3 or 4 casts of that card? Oh boy. So far, you got to admit that the deck feels pretty darn smooth. I'm sure we're going to run into the nasty stuff very soon, though. Meticulous Archive, first time that one's shown up for us. We don't have a lot of turn 1s. Obviously, we have the Authority of the Consuls, but most of the time, it's not such a bad idea to have a Meticulous Archive in a deck like this. Just fix the top of your library. Always good. Oh, opponent, are you... That doesn't mean Jeskai control necessarily, but we've been seeing a lot. Ooh, okay. Hello. I don't trust a firebending student, so we're just gonna make sure that stays off the field. Man, when was the last time you saw a firebending student doing some stuff? That's awesome. Wait, let's do the cryo. No, I think we do Clayfire bricks first, right? Just to maybe get a land out of our deck. Maybe it makes the draw like 0.5% better. Didn't help. Did not help. All right, so we've found ourselves with a few lands, but we've also found ourselves with a very good card in Pinnacle Starcage. Let's run out the Iron Man armor. Sure. So this thing is now going to be a 5/5 attacker when we decide to turn it on. I think a mono red deck probably going to have a pretty hard time dealing with that card. Deck, could you ease up with the lands just a little bit? Okay. Let's put out the known planes and then just pass back to the opponent. Again, we just we need to find something. What we might end up doing is the clay-fired bricks here. Just turn this into the gnome artifact creature thing, but the opponent has decided, nah. Sketchy one. Whatever. Turns out removing your opponent's firebending student when they're probably holding a mitt full of pump spells seems like a pretty good idea. Man, look at that sleeve. We got the authority. Turn 1. We're against everybody's favorite deck. Probably. It could be a Prowess deck. It could very well be a Prowess deck. Oh, okay. Hold up. I was a bad guy. I judged my opponent a little bit too quickly. I see cards like River Pirate Verge, and I jump to these conclusions. It's unfair. They're also playing Bleachbone Verge. It's probably Jeskai Black. Oh, lordy. They miss on their land. I played the wrong land. That's my bad. That's okay. It's okay. We are in good shape. The opponent... Oh, okay. We just got hit with an abrade. Imagine this world where abrades are being played. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Sure. Let's see. Do they have a second abrade? They have 3 steps ahead. They use 3 steps ahead. I see what happened there. So we don't need that, and we also don't need the clay-fired bricks. So they don't have enough blue mana. They could only cast it for 1 blue, so they decided to do blue and 2 generic. Now they have their mana that they need to turn things on. That means that they probably have more counter magic. Do we care? Iron Man armor to the field. They counter it. I'm sure they're sitting on plenty of counter spells, but if this hits, yeah, sure. They're burning that. It's fine. Okay, let's just pass. Maybe fire off the spring-loaded saw blades. I probably don't want to do that. Maybe I'll just draw with the Cryogen Relic. Do they turn off Adagia with the Petrified Hamlet? How heads up are they? How aware are they of our deck? Does this stop? They do. Okay, opponent. I see you. See you over there. So Cryogen Relic, we'll crack it. We'll just draw a card. It's not a big deal. And they respond with a Consult the Star Charts, which is wrong. This is something that I also do. I see the opponents do some action, some game action, and then I just kind of like snap and do something. And it's definitely a bad habit. One that we all probably need to fight against. We need to find better action, so we're just going to throw those away. It's fine. Authority or fire the spring-loaded saw. They're not going to do the spring-loaded saw blades. I think I'd rather just get this onto the field so I can gain a little bit more life in the long run of this game. This one might end up being a bit of a grinder. The inevitable defeat for our Simulacrum. Yep. And we are still not finding anything that we need. They're holding up some counter magic, probably. Clay-fired bricks, fine, run it out. Get our construct, whatever you want to call it, a little bit higher. And thin our deck ever so slightly. We could actually get in for another 1 point of damage if we really wanted to. I just noticed that there's a Marvel. I don't like that. They could have done a better job with that sticker because it's obstructing the creature type, right? No, I don't dig it. So Rise of Sozin, destroy all creatures. That's fine. That seems like a desperation play, but they're definitely doing it to dig or look to remove something. We hit our United Battlefront, though. Okay. Repurposing Bay. Oh, double Repurposing Bay, baby. Is that GG? That is GG. Opponent. We're taking down. Oh, look at this face. This is a happy face. We're taking down Jeskai. We're taking down Jeskai Black. You know what? Artifacts were the main villain, and Iron Man's coming back with a vengeance. Game number 6. Things have picked up a little bit. I still think we're probably only going to get 7 games in. Opening hand looks fine. We lead on Plains into Authority of the Consuls, get this Clayfire Bricks to find our 3rd land, and then we just need to find 1 more land. The Spring-Loaded Sawblade is going to be pretty awesome in this matchup, I imagine. Let's see what they run out here. Hopefully they don't run out the Wayward Spider, the Ward Spider. I don't know what we should call it, Wayward Spider or Wonder Weave Aerialist. It's got so many names. But what we're going to really need to try to find is, of course, Pinnacle Starcage. And if we can find a Pinnacle Starcage, we'll be in really good shape. Okay, well, this just made my decision a whole lot easier. We definitely take this time to snipe out this Veteran Survivor with the Ethereal Armor, getting a 2 for... Okay, we've suddenly made this game a little bit harder on ourselves. And played out the wrong card, but it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Maybe we're getting extra value now. We're taking a little bit more damage than I would have liked, but we're... Oh man. Oh man, it's fine. It was a misclick. I got a little bit too overconfident. Authority of the Consuls back onto the field, and they're down to 3 cards in hand now. Hopefully they can't find anything too nasty. That's fine. That's fine, right? Why do they hate my Authority of the Consuls so much? Oh man. Do they have Shard Mages? Do they have Shard Mages Rescue? So the choice is maybe I United Battlefront and I sweep the board with Pinnacle Starcage. Or I take the safe route and I Spring-Loaded Sawblades, but they might have... We're going this way. I don't think they have it. Yes, okay. It didn't seem like they had it. It's fine. And now we have a bigger United Battlefront opportunity in the future. We'll see. Gain a life. We want to gain a bunch of life. We're already down to 9 before that thing came in. Now we have the... Alright. Pinnacle Starcage just makes things so much easier. And let's grab the Perilous Snare, make a roll. This is just... It's unfair right now. This lined up just a little bit too nicely for us. And we'll just get rid of those. The Noah's not sticking around. Look at this run. We are Iron Man rocketing up the ladder. Oz the Great and Powerful. Love the name. Wait. Again, questionable hand. Fire Crystal, throw it away. We don't want to see it. This is fine. This is fine. I would love to keep one of these United Battlefronts, but can't be too greedy. We need to find the land anyway for it. Conduit Pilot. Does that mean our opponent is doing dinosaur thing? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they hit the Gishath right off the top. I didn't want to keep the Iron Man armor there. I think the way the windows came popping up, I went to click to like close the Gishath window, but it popped up the Iron Man, hey, do you want to keep this window? I just clicked on it. Which might be our undoing. In the end, do I die now to a dinosaur Gishath situation because I kept an Iron Man armor? Maybe would have been toast anyways. The opponent looks to have the very fast Foggy Swamp Visions. We're toast. I already know what's happening. The good news is this is fast, and we might actually... I thought I was only going to get 7 games in. These last like 4 games have gone so lickety-split smooth that... Attack. There you go. We can probably squeeze in a couple more. Let's see how well they hit. They hit with the Galta. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look at the pile. I want to be surprised. A Trumpeting Carnosaur and a Galta. Let's see what else is in your hand, opponent. Another Gishath. Love it. GG, opponent. It wouldn't have mattered Iron Man armor on the top or not. When you are playing Dinosaur Reanimator, you go first. You have your turn 3 Foggy Swamp Visions with a Gishath that you mill into the graveyard with the Conduit Pylon. You are... You couldn't draw up a better line. Like, this is what I want to happen. This is the second thing, and this is the third thing, and this would be the absolute perfect thing. And that was right there. Ooh. All right, we can squeeze 3 more in. As long as we don't run into like a Jeskai control, Azorius control, Jeskai black control, any number of control-oriented decks, we should be fine to be able to ride the next 3 games out without going too long. That's the hope. And then I can go out for a walk. It's supposed to be 34 degrees Celsius today, according to my watch here, my app. Wow. I don't like that. 34? Why? Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Repurposing Bay, pretty good. So I guess we have our mana to go turn 2 Clayfire Bricks, turn 3 Synthesizer, turn 4 United Battlefront. Pray that the opponent doesn't find Kavaero nonsense. Alright. Gotta get a little bit lucky. Well, you know what? Our deck was running so incredibly hot. It's only appropriate that we start running into opponents who are also running ideally, we'll say. Okay. Opponent milling some stuff, but not a bringer of the last gift. So that's the good news. I think what... Oh man, a good card. I think we're still fine to put the Simulacrum Synthesizer onto the field. What we need probably gear up towards is a combo kill with Fire Crystal, which makes me want to keep the island on the top of the library, just so I guarantee that I'm not going to draw the Fire Crystal. Next turn, we're going to go... Next turn, we actually have a choice. We can go YOLO United Battlefront. We can also go Repurposing Bay, Authority of the Consoles. The reason the Authority of the Consoles is pretty good is because it's going to keep whatever things they animate with the Superior Spider-Man tapped. The problem, though, is that this Town Greeter actually represents a pretty good blocker, but we might be able to get around it. So I think the play is actually Repurposing Bay, Authority, not United Battlefront. We save the United Battlefront for the following turn because we're going to need to find, especially now with that bringer of the last gift in the graveyard, 100% that's the play. Now, okay, they do not seem to have the Dragon, Terror of the Peaks. Terror of the Peaks is the card that really does us in. Also, drawing... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to talk about drawing the one of card that's in the deck that we need to win on the next turn. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. In fact, what we're going to draw is a second Simulacrum Synthesizer, and we'll be in really good shape. Actually, the Town Greeter gets cleared out. Oh, what's this do? Enters with a Divinity counter on it if you cast it from your hand. Myojin of the whatever has indestructible as long as it has a Divinity counter on it. Remove a Divinity counter. Each opponent discards their hand. Okay. Right? 3 CMC card. Oh, do they respond there? Oh, it's not okay. That's rude. That's so rude. Okay, though. So let's Clay-Fired Bricks and grab the second Synthesizer. Or, yeah, we grab a Synthesizer. It's fine. They're probably, well, they might not have another, I don't like either of these cards. I'm so afraid of drawing into the card that will be unnamed. Okay. We still have this Authority of the Consuls. The Authority of the Consuls is protecting us quite a bit from Kavaero, Superior Spider-Man shenanigans with the Bringer of the Last Gift. And we do still have the Repurposing Bay. We can sack the Simulacrum Synthesizer if we really need to be able to put the card that won't be named onto the field. They kick this, making us sacrifice a creature. Oh no, they bring back a creature. That's fine, right? Okay, 3 CMC card off the top. Actually, no, we don't really want 3 CMC card off the top. This is not bad, right? So we do this. We get our boys up a little bit. We may as well play the island. If I sacrifice the Simulacrum now, the Synthesizer, and go and get Fire Crystal, I'm going to name it now, that's going to create one more Construct. So I'm going to have, and it's going to be 2... I don't have enough damage. I don't have enough damage. I'm just a little bit short. So it's probably better to kill this, grab the Pinnacle Stargate? No, Perilous Snare, and eat the Zetalpa. Okay. Yeah, I was just a little bit short on damage. I think... did I miss it? Did I miss the lethal there? I don't think I did. Had I eaten... No, I think I only ever had 16 damage. So I could have gotten in for 16. That would have been pretty cool. But... yeah, maybe that was the right play. I'm not really sure. We could have always got the Zetalpa under the Perilous Snare another time. Okay, opponent throwing a whole bunch of stuff into the graveyard. A Mr. Negative is terrifying. Oh no, and they have now the mana for bring back... Oh, okay. I think we got there. We got there. We take down Kavaero, Superior Spider-Man, whatever you want to call this deck. I believe we got lucky. The opponent's actually playing a pretty cool build of it with a whole bunch of really different, weird, interesting cards at their disposal. They have the Superior Spider-Man now, but it is a little bit too late. Wouldn't it be fun to draw the Fire Crystal right now? Oh, opponent didn't give me a chance to see the worst top deck possible. Yeah, that was fun. Who doesn't love beating up on Superior Spider-Man? Oh, yeah. Last week I did a poll, and I said, which of these cards tilts you out the most? And I put on there... this is... That's not okay, really, right? It's bad, because we don't have any blue mana. And... I think I'm going to throw this one away. I don't like that. What cards tilt you out more? And it was like Badger Mole Cub, of course, Slickshot Show Off, Storm Chaser's Talent, and Pizza Island. What are we doing? Are we keeping the Adagia, or are we getting rid of the Adagia? I think we get rid of it, actually, surprisingly. Okay. And then just lead on this, whatever. And everybody hated the Cub, but quite a few people piped up in the comments saying, oh, you forgot to put Kavaero on the list, right? And, yep, okay. You know what? Kavaero could very well have made that list. And so, and people were saying Kavaero. People were not saying Superior Spider-Man, which I also thought was a little bit interesting. There weren't a lot of comments, but the people that did mention, I believe they said Kavaero. They're using the old names. We are against, is it a mono blue Prowess deck, or is it an Is-It deck that hasn't found their mana? So the question is going to be whether or not I need to get rid of these otters now, or if I can risk the Simulacrum Synthesizer. And I think I feel pretty safe at 19. Okay. Next turn, we're going to... We don't want either of these. Yeah. I think it's fine to put them both to the bottom. Yeah, no, I think we want to try to high roll. We want to hit more Synthesizers. We want to hit more Star Cages, something like that. It is a Prowess deck. Death to Our Enemy is a very cool card. We're going to take 4 damage here and potentially 7 more damage. This is the card that I actually used to climb into Mythic, and I cannot... I put out that video that essentially playing this deck. And there were a few naysayers in the comment section, people saying like this deck is not as good as it looks in this video. Like we went 9-0 in that video. I went 9-0. It's good. I ended up playing the deck in the end to make that last little push. I don't know what my end record was because I ended up playing... I mentioned the movie theater. I was in the movie theater for 5 hours. They did like a halftime show. They like a cleanup halftime show. So I had a whole bunch of time. So I ended up busting out the phone and I was just sitting there playing Magic. And I got Mythic while I was sitting in the movie theater. What is Razzle Dazzle, by the way? Human Wizard. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It can't block this turn, or can't be blocked this turn. Okay. Well, we have so many options here. But I think the number one option is... Wow, these are good cards. Am I just shuffling it away, though? Am I just making attackers to which they will have to block 2 of them? No, 1 of them. They only have to block 1. So is it really worth it for me to sacrifice my constructs right now? I'm at 7. I could die actually very quickly. I actually don't like the position that I'm in. So maybe it's actually... No, you know what? We're playing this safer. We're playing this a lot safer. Sorry, opponent. Sorry. I was too busy talking about other stuff. Perilous Snare. Death to our enemies. See you later. Make more of these things. I was kind of wondering if I should go in with the Fire Crystal or not. But I think it's probably better just to snipe this out. If they take a turn to bounce some stuff, you know, get this back, it's fine. They got 6 mana potentially at their disposal. They got to get through 9/9s. Next turn, we can definitely bring a lot of heat. We should be fine. Boomerang Basic to bounce. To bounce a blocker. Okay. I guess it does get rid of it forever. It still just seems like the wrong way to go about it. Razzle Dazzle's neat. Is this a good card? Whenever you cast your second spell, it can only get 1 +1/+1 counter on it per turn. It is a common wizard, though. That's kind of cool. Kind of feels like a card that should be in the superhero set. Like, I feel like this is a character. This is just, it's Razzle Dazzle. GG, the opponent says, and they wrap it up. Hey, taken down, is it Prowess too? Again, this deck, fire deck, it's awesome. I was talking about the people that were doubtful about the validity of Death to Our Enemies. I had sure there's some matchups where it's not great. It's awkward to play out. Your opponent's too fast. Like imagine that dinosaur opponent that beat us. You're sitting here hoping to put down a Death to Your Enemies, and they're putting out 20+ power on turn 3. This card's not going to work. But the amount of times that this card saved me was awesome. And then also otters. They're just kind of good. All right, it's gonna be our 10th and final game. Things have gone well with the deck. I think there's no doubt about that. This one's a little bit, you know what, we're going to keep it. We're going to push the deck to its absolute limit. We're going to see if we can test it and see if we can make it work at 2 lands. 2 lands is going to be a sketchy one when you're sitting here with a bunch of 3 CMC stuff, but we do have authority to slow down the opponent if they're on an aggro deck. We also have the spring-loaded Sawblaze that works very well with the authority, and then we draw the Clayfire Bricks, so the deck comes in to save our butts. So we are actually in pretty good shape, and we're against a green opponent. Green opponent means the opponent's in for a bad time. We get to fix the top of our library, which is a repurposing bay. Yeah, it's just a repurposing bay. You keep it all day long. We have, outside of just having a ton of mana, we have exactly what we want. That is a juicy Mossy-born Hydra. We're definitely taking the opportunity to snipe that one out. Slows us down a little bit. Well, oh yeah, you never see this deck on the ladder anymore. You just don't see people playing Landfall. Although this is not Landfall. This might be mono green. This might be mono green Stompy. Okay, we're in trouble now. The opponent had enough enough cards. Enough threats. They ran us out of our threats. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We got the repurposing bay on the field now. So what this means is that we can hit in the desk. Sorry, we can sacrifice the Clayfire bricks to go and get a Perilous Snare, and we can get rid of. Why did I draw 4 Simulacrum Synthesizers instead of at least 1 land, please? I know I liked this card art. It's awesome. Kind of, you know what? I kind of like it in this style. It looks kind of cool, right? That opponent is sassy over there. Which one do we get rid of? I think we always get rid of this one. And we grab, of course, our Perilous Snare. So they had the Archdruid's Charm to snipe out our poor Construct. It can only hit. See, that's a choice. They had a choice to exile a target artifact. Why would you not hit the? You got 100% hit the repurposing bay. I misclicked. Oops. I wanted to ramble on a little bit more. I was going to hit view battlefield, but it didn't work out that way. It's fine. Yes, if you end up going up against this deck, one target, of course, everybody's afraid of the Simulacrum Synthesizer. If you remove the synthesizers from this deck, suddenly this deck has a very hard time of winning. So if you're able to kill this and then do like Devious Cover Up to remove these from the deck, ooh, I don't even know. The Iron Man armor is like our only backup win con, and that's real sketch. And then the second card that you absolutely have to take out is, of course, the Repurposing Bay. The opponent hitting the construct to be able to get in a little bit of damage with their Ouroboride, when the Repurposing Bay was the card that was going to completely turn the game on its head for us. Yeah, you got to go after that. Anyways, the deck functioned so well, and the experimental card, the Iron Man armor, you know what? I like it. I think it fits into this deck perfectly. We didn't really lose much. What we ended up taking out of the deck was the Enigma Jewel. There was a 1 copy of the Enigma Jewel in this deck, and then there was also 1 more Perilous Snare. So at the cost of 1 Enigma Jewel and 1 Perilous Snare, you run 2 Iron Man armors, and they came in handy is what I want to say. Especially in that first game, it really showcased, like, when you're in some really sticky spots, it's cool to have another tool at your disposal. I like it. I think it fits. I'm impressed. Overall, though, it's definitely the Simulacrum Synthesizer repurposing base show. Pinnacle Star Cage doesn't hurt at all either. And that is the deck of it's exactly what you would imagine it being. It functions so well. I think we took down, like, we didn't see Cub once. That last opponent was a mono green opponent who was on maybe more of a stompy list. I'm sure they had Cub in their deck. It just didn't pop up. I don't believe we saw Cub in any other matchups unless I'm missing it. But we saw plenty of Jeskai because Jeskai's on the ladder. I think the Jeskai matchup is actually kind of difficult. I think we got a little bit lucky at how well it worked out for us. But if you find those openings, you get your cards on the field, I think they might have a hard time figuring things out. However, if they have Price of Freedom, it makes it awfully easy for them to snipe out some of our key pieces. We still won that one, though. We did end up getting there in the end. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know why you think people don't play Jeskai Artifacts more on the ladder. Is it just because they're sick of it, or do people view this deck as not being good enough anymore? It is plenty good enough. So if you in the past have built this deck, crafted these cards, because it is an expensive deck, of course, maybe take it out for another spin and see how it feels in the current meta. Maybe it can help you get into Mythic. It is a pretty awesome deck. That's it for this one. Thanks for coming along for the ride with me. I'm about to go out for a nice stifling walk in 30-degree weather. Isn't that going to be fun? I'm going to be sweating so badly. I'm already sweating, and the air conditioning's on inside. It's a rough summer life. But let's go enjoy some sun. Get outside yourself, go for a walk, then come back, play some Magic. And of course, don't forget to like the video, say hello down in the comments, and take care of yourself. That's it for this one. Bye-bye. Sarang Yupana, and bye-bye again.